Catalaba, so pull it up. Pull it up.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Zaida Lisa. Welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Come on in. Get your cannabis, get your vino, get whatever your poison is, and get your butt in here. Today, we are talking the most exclusive interview out there on these internet streets. It is the Terrence Howard interview, okay? He did an interview on a podcast. That interview is ripping the streets to shreds in regards to Diddy. So let's jump into it, okay? So it looks like Terrence Howard had a couple of things to talk about when it has to do with Diddy, the industry, Hollyweird, Justin Bieber, and we're going to get into it all here. I have an audio clip that we're going to get into, but let's jump into some of the quick facts so you guys have some background. So he went on this podcast where he discussed a very interesting topic, okay? That topic being manhood, man card, whatever you want to call it. And what happens when your man card or manhood is taken in the industry. Very interesting conversation that I think we need to have, especially due to the fact that there has been numerous amounts of claims coming out that people were forced into doing something strange for some change when it came to Diddy, okay? You guys don't have to hear it from me. You guys can type it in and you can see a million lawsuits where people are alleging that Diddy was forcing these people into sexual encounters, although they felt uncomfortable. This is not only just coming from the women realm, because we've heard the stories when it has to do with Cassie, when it has to do with Dawn, but we are now jumping into the world of men. And Terrence Howard does a good job of explaining some of the things that he experienced specifically when it had to do with Diddy, okay? Diddy was known to put people into compromising positions when he wanted something other than whatever it is he was trying to get. So I'm going to let you guys hear the clip. We're going to hear the clip, and then after the clip, come back here because I have a perspective on this topic, okay? Listen to this clip real quick.
Man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing. You give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once it go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. But they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, he wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles.
Okay, guys, it looks like Terrence Howard is ready to spill the beans. He don't give a damn about Hollywood. He doesn't give a damn about anything. He is being honest. When the interviewer even threw Justin Bieber in there and he went into that was insane. But let's break it down, okay? When he's talking about man card and manhood and all of that, he is talking about the men who often compromise themselves and go into gay relationships despite possibly not being gay, okay? How does this tie into Diddy? He talks about a time in this clip where Diddy reached out to him to get some type of acting classes. If you guys don't know, Terrence Howard is an actor. He acts. So Diddy reached out to him under the false pretense of needing some type of an acting coach. He goes, I'm sure Diddy had to offer him some type of money, right? So he goes as a business arrangement, and he's getting this vibe from Diddy. Probably the same vibe that Little Rod was getting when Little Rod was told to basically produce in the bathroom while Diddy's taking a shower, okay? Probably that same vibe that, this is weird. Why is he looking at me in that manner? Almost looking at me like I'm a piece of meat, okay? This is what he's saying he felt. He thought it was strange. He then said, after that, Diddy then asked him, oh, come listen to some music. I need your opinions. I want your insight, okay? These are people in the industry. He wasn't thinking anything. He goes and he does so. He still continues to feel this weird vibe. Ultimately, after he leaves, and it looks like Diddy was then requesting a second meetup with him. When he felt like, wow, we didn't really get much accomplished because he was acting weird, why would I go back? His assistant lets him know that he thinks that Diddy was trying to boink him, okay? And he was like, that's it. Close the door. Never going to speak to this dude again. It's a wrap. Now, he is saying that with that experience, that he knows that there is a lot of actors and entertainers that have compromised their manhood for some type of leverage or some type of moving up in the world. Okay, guys, this is not, I hate that people see this and they call this a conspiracy theory. This is absolutely not a conspiracy theory, okay? This is happening. Do you see him, how he speaks about Justin Bieber? Like, it wasn't no question. It wasn't no, I think, allegedly. He basically said that he knows that Justin Bieber has allegedly compromised his manhood to get ahead. And that you cannot sleep with yourself at night after that has taken place, okay? Now, I want to say this. He uses the word fluid. I feel like that word, to me, is not, shouldn't be used, because these are people who do not want to compromise their manhood, but they feel almost obligated to. When you say fluid, I think of someone who is bisexual, someone who chooses these actions. Like, I like men, I like women, whatever it is, that is something that you choose. These people are put into situations where they feel like they don't have a choice. And then they do it. And maybe they do it and they feel like this is obligatory of me. This is okay because maybe this is what's happening in the industry and I'm just new to this, right? That's the perspective that I'm getting from these entertainers that ultimately get groomed into having sexual or gay relationships against their own will. So he's using the term fluid, saying that ultimately then you become fluid, saying that you like men and you like women and it's just something normal. No, this isn't normal, people. These people are put into predicaments where they feel like this is the norm. I should be doing this because maybe this is what everybody's doing. And that is wrong. That's why Diddy is sitting in front of a federal judge right now trying to explain how he wasn't trafficking or forcing people into labor. Okay? It is illegal to do that under the pretenses, especially when you're going to this person for some type of professional advancement, professional help. So in my opinion, Terrence Howard just blew the whole lid off of the shit. And he doesn't give a flying fuck. Okay? He doesn't. The interviewer asked some really valid questions. He said, aren't you still working in the field? Do you feel like this is going to compromise your position in Hollywood? Like, these are all valid questions. Let's be real, guys. Before the whole Diddy thing, all of this stuff was very hush-hush, okay? I think I just heard another interview where someone, also a comedian, was discussing that he knew personally that Will Smith was gay and preferred men. But this was something that could never be spoke of. This was something that's very hush-hush. And I don't understand it. We have gotten to a place now, right? In America where the LGBT community is very big. They're very open. They're very proud. Why? You guys drop in the comments. Why is it that people of such magnitude, like, for example, allegedly the Will Smiths and the Diddys, feel like they need to hide these things? Why is the undercover brother conversation so valid in Hollywood? Why can't these people just be living in their truths? Why is it that you have to force people to go into sexual gay relationships with you when there are millions of people out in America who are openly gay? I'll tell you what that has to do with. That has to do with what Terrence Howard was talking about. Spiritual energy. Okay? If you guys don't believe it, it's another conspiracy theory. You do your own research. Okay? Don't come in these comments and tell me about myself. Do your own research. Type in spiritual energy and you'll see. To me, everything that Diddy is doing to everyone else has been done to him. It's not a secret that he was groomed by Andre Harrell, allegedly. He was groomed by Clyde Davis, allegedly. These are all things that people have whispered about for years. And who's to say that he is now thinking that this is something that is fluid, right? Because it was something that was done to him. Not make an excuse for the diddler, because y'all already know how I feel about him on this platform. I think he is a very scary person, and I think power can do a lot of things. Okay? So I think this goes deeper than just him being a monster. I think this goes deeper. I think this has to do with the spiritual energy, the harvesting of energy. I think that when you get to a certain place in your career, you have to go through those doors. You know about those doors because we spoke about it here at Mama's Cocktail Hour, where it looks like, oh God, who's the guy from Drink Champs, guys? I'm losing his name now. Why can't I remember his name? Anyways, the guy from Drink Champs went off, drop in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. He went on and spoke about doors. Okay? And how when you hit a certain level in your professional career, when you're in the industry, you are presented with doors. One of the doors, he said, was a gay door. He said that. He said he even said some type of sacrifice. There was a door for sacrifice. There was a door for gay stuff. Like, he said this, okay? And it's crazy to me that people think that this is conspiracies. I think things like this happen in all big forums. I think this happens in the NFL. I think this happens in the NBA. I think this happens in fraternities. I think this happens in Holly Weird. I think it happens in the music industry. This doesn't just stop at hip hop, guys. People aren't doing something compromising their manhood just for hip hop. Like, this is happening across the border in all different types of realms, in all different professions. Like, I don't want to just give hip hop a bad rep or Holly Weird a bad rep. I think that this type of stuff has been happening for centuries. Let's talk about the Romans. We can go all the way back to the Romans and say that this type of stuff was always happening, right? So shout out to Terrence Howard for speaking the truth. All the things that people would like to call conspiracy theories out on these internet streets are now coming to fruition, okay? You guys let me know what you think in the comments. This was a very, very honest interview, and I loved every second of it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't seen any of my new videos, check them out here or here. And it's your girl, Zaida Lisa. I will see you guys on the next video. Love you guys. Bye.
Cocktail hour, so pour it up.